G1 Spam. Don't make that mistake again. This is a figure I've wanted to review for a while, but when I was a child, I actually broke it. And it has taken up until now for my adult self to go, I could just fix that. So I have. And that figure is the one, the only, G1 SkullCruncher. I got this brand new as a child, and I love it so much. But again, I was a kid, I broke it, I'll show you how I broke it, and then I had to hide it somewhere so no one would ever see, because that's kind of how I dealt with things. But at least it now means that as an adult, if I find a broken one, I might be able to fix it, and then I can do a review. Yay! And SkullCruncher is a giant, boxy, pink and green crocodile. What more do you want from life? I mean, really, what more do you want? He's a big, daft-looking crocodile. I love this figure so much. Due to being in the sun, the tail's now a slightly different shade, at least on that side, from the rest of it. But it's fine, it doesn't matter. And he's beautiful. He's absolutely beautiful. Would you like a size comparison? Because you know what? I've got an apt size comparison. Titans Return SkullCruncher. So there's a bit of a size difference, and just because I wanted to. Titans Return Krok. This has got the repro labels, so that's why it looks a bit different. I'm not sure if I've shown this off after the repro labels, but that's what it's got. And there's a bit of a scale difference, there's a bit of a design difference. They're roughly the same length. If I can get Krok out of the way, I'll tell you what, Krok, you go that way. There you go. They're roughly the same kind of length. I think SkullCruncher is ever so gently longer. But bear in mind, this is with SkullSmasher. That's with the tail extension here. Now, this tail extension is one thing this figure does better, because old G1, bless him, has nowhere to store his gun. It just has to be kept loose. Which is a shame. But whatever. And something the G1 had, which I prefer over these, doesn't work as well now because I had to fix something, but I'll show you anyway. When the mouth opens, don't get stuck, the headmaster is sitting inside. Look, there he is. I want to say goat. I'll correct it for the... Well, no, I won't bother saying it at all. But goat, he's in there. Look, he's there. Yay! I have goat. That is a G1 headmaster, boys and girls. And he just sits in the mouth, and the mouth can go, ah, clomp, clomp. Whereas on the new fellas, you open the mouth, and you get a tongue. It's a very well designed and textured tongue, I can't argue that. I mean, can you see this from here? Yeah, like all the texture and stuff down it. It's very pretty, but they don't fit in there. Don't fit. So, instead theirs are hidden in the back. I know I've done a review on this guy, so I'm not going to go into huge detail. And let's just see the size difference, because I've not done this before. Yeah, there is a bit of a size difference, isn't there? Should we get... I have no idea what this one's called. We'll get Krok's one out. There we go. That's his name, Krok's one. There you go. Just look how tiny these guys are. I remember thinking these were little when I was a kid, but what did I know? And now we'll get these guys out of the way. I will move these two out of the way. Now, how I broke this as a kid was basically these corners, the green corners there, were really angular, and as you turned it, it basically tried to shear that black peg off. And it did. So I just glued it in place when I was a kid, and that was it. but I pulled this out about a week or two ago. I scraped all the glue and stuff off, found a suitable sized piece of plastic. That was the hardest part, and then it was a little thick. I had to shave it down slightly. Drill, pin, glue, and now the arm can move again. Now this arm can move again. Yay! However, because of the glue and stuff like that, it's ever so slightly away from the body there. Can we see any of this? Ever so slightly away from the body, and because of that, because it's that extra millimetre or something wider, that's where it gets stuck in the head. Which is a shame. But, should we get onto transformation? So, what we'll do first is we'll take the tail off. Okay. Now for some reason it's got almost like an old PS1 game. It's like square, circle, full stop. I don't know why. It's just weird like that. And it's got the corresponding holes there. I don't know. I've never understood that, but fine. So we will split this and fold it down the sides. It sort of tabs together. Sorry, pegs on there, but nothing major. Just bring this camera up a little bit, really, shouldn't I? There we go. And then you fold this over. Turn it around at the waist. Yeah. Get these bits, and this one's just loose. I might floor polish it. Sorry. This is a bit loose. I might floor polish it, but I'm not too worried. Bring it through and push the hand through. So it's like that. Just bring it round. Push the hand through. Like that. I need to bring the camera up again. Good lord. And you get the head of the crocodile and just fold it straight down onto the back. And that is the main part done. Hooray! Now you get the headmaster. You fold it, and bear in mind, these will move separately. And they look like they've got little thrusters on the side of them, which is awesome. So we'll have that fold up, peg him in place, and oh noes, where's his face? Well, kids, in the olden days, they actually had, let's just take him off for a second, actually had a little flap you had to fold up to reveal the face. How awesome is that? Not just the face hanging out on the back, they actually made an effort to try and make it look more like a backpack. Not a lot, but still. And the old classic, we'll open up the body, the chest panel, and see that? Spud, stir, and speed, strength, intelligence, okay? We'll put the head in, and go in, there you go. He's not very fast, that's barely registered. He's very strong, and he's actually quite intelligent. I wouldn't have said that, but fine, I'm not going to argue. And so you give him the weapons. And due to the squareness of this peg, it's kind of got to go into this hand to go around the thumb. So you put that in there, you put that in there, and you can hit you with this club sword thing. And that is G1 SkullCruncher. Ta-da! Can you balance? Not sure you can actually, but still. Nah. But how awesome's that? He's G1, he's boxy, he's really silly looking. The colours are still, and always have been, ridiculous, but I love him. He's a classic, and I'm so glad I've got him fixed. Now, for the size comparisons being the Titans Return, SkullSmasher, and Krok. And just look, I mean, this is a very nice update. I can't deny it, it's a very nice update. But it's just not, I don't know, it's just not quite as cool as the original. I think the pink's a bit too vibrant, whereas this is quite a matte, toned down pink. This is a very bright, vibrant pink. These claws, if they're on the underside, they probably look a bit, they just make him look like he's got a bit more style to him, a bit more attitude. Whereas this one just seems very ho-hum, which I kind of like. And yeah, alright, I've done the bit where you turn the legs around. You know, you unscrew them, you turn them around. If you haven't seen that, I have done a video explaining it, so just go find that. I might link it in the description, I probably won't. But he's cool. I mean, you can't combine the weapons or anything, but I don't care so much. and his head is huge compared to these guys. I mean, look how big that is. That's like about the size of my nail, my thumb, and that's bigger than my whole thumb. It's ridiculous. But I love him. I do. He's G1, he's classic, he's vintage, he's awesome. And you know what? He's a nice breakup of all the more recent plastic I've been doing. Bit of G1's always good. Except, articulation's terrible. But, you can't hold that against him. He's a product of his time. But no, love him to bits, absolutely love him. Even like Krok. And SkullSmasher is a suitable update. I'll let him off, he's fine. So, let's just bring this close so you can actually see that head in properly. Yeah. You actually see that black lump of a head. Just about. And then you see this black lump of a head. So apart from the gold nose and between the eyes, between the eyebrow part, they are very, very similar. Yeah, that's about all you're going to get, really. He's still cool. So, I should be ugly, I should be wretched, I shall see all of you back in the 1980s. Victory!